Have you ever found yourself in that nail-biting situation where your fantasy football team has the exact same win-loss record as another team, and a playoff spot is on the line? It is a common scenario, and when this happens, fantasy playoff spots are decided by predetermined tiebreaker rules. These rules are put in place to ensure a fair and clear method for breaking statistical ties among teams vying for postseason glory. The core mechanism behind these tiebreakers is a pre-established hierarchy set by the league commissioner or the platform defaults. These hierarchies typically prioritize different aspects of team performance to objectively determine which team advances. For instance, a common first tiebreaker is the head-to-head record between the tied teams. If one team won more games against the other directly, they usually get the nod. If that does not resolve the tie, the system moves to the next criteria in the list. Following head-to-head, other popular tiebreakers include total points scored throughout the season, which rewards consistent offensive output. Sometimes, a league will use division record if the teams are in the same division, or even total points against, which highlights defensive strength or perhaps just good luck with opponent scheduling. The goal is always to find a distinct differentiating factor that is agreed upon before the season begins. So, what does this mean for you as a fantasy manager? The most important step is to check your league's specific rule settings well before the playoffs even begin. Most fantasy football platforms provide a dedicated section where commissioners can customize and display the tiebreaker order. Knowing this order can influence your late-season strategy, especially if you are in a tight race. For example, if total points scored is a high-priority tiebreaker, you might prioritize players with higher scoring upside in your weekly lineups. Many fantasy platforms have default tiebreaker settings, but a savvy commissioner often customizes these to align with the league's competitive spirit. Some deeper tiebreakers you might encounter include strength of schedule, which assesses the difficulty of a team's opponents, or even a random can flip as a very last resort. Understanding this hierarchy is like having an insider tip. If you know total points is number 2, and you are tied on head-to-head, you know exactly what statistic to push for in the final weeks. This knowledge transforms tiebreakers from a simple rule into a powerful strategic tool. Ultimately, understanding how fantasy playoff tiebreakers work is more than just knowing a rule. It is about gaining a strategic edge. By familiarizing yourself with your league's specific hierarchy of tiebreakers, you can make smarter roster decisions as the season progresses, especially during those crucial weeks leading up to the playoffs. This proactive approach helps you position your team not just to win games, but to secure that coveted playoff spot, making all your hard work pay off.